This is the Impressions Exchange Podcast. Where all topics impacting the graphic imaging and printing industry are addressed via in-depth news coverage, analysis, and timely interviews.
Hello, and welcome to the Impressions Exchange Podcast. I'm Toni McQuilkin, Senior Editor for Printing Impressions, and I had the pleasure of sitting down to chat with satirical newspaper The Onion's new ownership about their return to a printed product after years of being digital only. I was joined by Danielle Sterlet, Chief Product Officer, and Jimmy Hasse, Creative Director of Editorial Art at The Onion, as well as Andy Sanchez, President of TopWeb, the commercial printer actually doing the production of the newspaper. It was a great conversation, getting into the details, not only about why they chose to return to print, but also the technical aspects of producing a printed newspaper again. Check it out. Welcome, all of you.
Thank you so much, Toni, for having us. I appreciate you.
So I guess to get started, can you each tell us a little bit about yourselves and your roles in your respective companies?
Let Danielle start.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. I'm Danielle Sterlet, and I am part of the new ownership group of The Onion, Global Tetrahedron. My background is mostly in digital media to date, but it has been a true honor and a pleasure to bring The Onion back into print, because that's how I met it at the beginning, and that's how I love it the most. And I feel I'm going to throw it to Andy, actually, and we'll let Jimmy go last. But yeah, Andy from TopWeb, when he wrote back to my emails about printing, I'd never been so happy.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Danielle. I'm Andy Sanchez with TopWeb. I've been with TopWeb now for 25 years. I started here at a very young age with the pre-press department and worked my way up to the president of the company. This is what we do. This is in our blood, to print and to get new customers. And I was so excited when Danielle reached out to me, and with her savvy voice and everything, and she was so super excited to launch The Onion again, and I was so happy to be part of it. So thank you for making me part of it.
And last but not least, the true star of the show, Jimmy.
Well, that remains to be seen. Hello, I am Jimmy Hasse, Creative Director over at The Onion. I've been there for 13 years. I knew that I wanted to work there in 2001 when I got my hands on the first print edition on a field trip to Chicago, and really am counting my lucky stars every day that I'm getting to work here. And I am in charge of the visuals across the board. When I started at The Onion, print was on its way out, and now print is on its way back in, and I can't be more excited.
So I guess, how did that conversation start when, moving back into print? Because it's unusual in this day and age for a newspaper to move back to the print edition. How did that even come up as a topic?
When we found out that The Onion was for sale, and brought the group together and connected with our investor, Jeff Lawson, we knew that we wanted to restore The Onion to its former glory. And in thinking about the most glorious days of The Onion, like, those are undeniably in print. We also knew that we wanted to be reader supported as opposed to, digital advertising supported. And print is a nice way to give your subscribers something.
Awesome. So what ultimately then tipped the scales? Because I imagine there were a lot of conversations about, do we or don't we make that leap?
I mean, Jimmy can speak to this even more eloquently than I, but print is just the most optimal way to experience The Onion. And we wanted to give our membership the very best experience that they could possibly have.
Yeah, absolutely. The peak Onion, the best way to experience it is seeing a group of jokes together. So you can see the macro and the micro on the front page at all times. So we'll satirize something hard in the political realm, say, and that'll be in our top spot. But then right next to it, there will be a headline that says something like Dollar Tree introduces new Fig Nortons or something like that. So we are absolutely covering everything. It lets you know that even if we are covering something hard, that the conceit of the entire thing is to make you think and to make you laugh, that we are keeping our eyes on absolutely everything. When we are in digital, it's very hard to experience that because you are looking and experiencing a joke on its own. And then you could start to form an opinion like, oh, this is what they think. It's like, no, this is what we are observing, and we are making you think about it. That's what our job is. So when we get that back in print, we get the full identity of the Onion right where we want it to be. And we are giving the experience that we always wanted the readers to have. So that's why I'm really excited about right now is getting back to that. And you could also see it on our homepage with the web too. We very much mirror print to give you that experience.
I mean, and also Andy being able to do it for us was huge.
Oh my God, yeah. One of the coolest days of my life was going down to that printing press for the first time. The smell. I'll let you talk about it though.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean it is one of a kind. You know, we always invite the new folks in here that are launching a newspaper, or even the college students. They're printing a newspaper. They're not familiar with the printing press, but there are a lot of bells and whistles here, and it's really nice to see. You know, from the start up from scratch, how to hang the plates, how the press starts up with scrap copies, and it takes about 800 copies before we start saving a nice copy of a newspaper product. So it was a true learning experience for the Onion folks and for me as well, because I'm learning on how they're putting their content together and they're making this a viable product for the subscriber base.
Fantastic. Yeah, there is nothing more impressive than a newspaper web press going full out. That is an experience everyone needs to have in their life.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, it was really awesome talking to all of the printing people and the mailing people, because producing an actual thing is really complicated, and it takes a lot of big heavy equipment, and the guy grabbing the fresh papers and like looking them with like probably has a real name, but like a jeweler's loop almost.
Yeah.
That was so cool. And we don't do enough of that in Pixel Vision,
So what went into choosing your print provider when you said, okay, we're doing it, we're pulling the trigger, what led you ultimately to TopWeb?
We knew we wanted to be in Chicago if we could. We talked to a few people, like, of course, people are always thinking about price. Andy's price was great, and like the high service level. I mean, the timeline at which we were trying to get back into print, get things printed, and get people into get it into the hands of people in time for the DNC, while also making a new website. Like, it was a really daunting task, if I'm being honest. And yeah, Andy made it easy and calmed my nerves throughout. There was at one point where I thought that I was going to have to be hand stuffing 10 million envelopes for the rest of my life. And Andy helped us figure that out too. And having a great printing partner, the feeling of stress just like melting off your shoulders is a great one. Shout out again, Andy. Thank you for that, dog.
No, thank you. Yeah, you know what? One thing about us is that we don't own any newspapers ourselves, so we strictly print for independent publishers, and every publisher that prints with us just as important, whether they're printing one copy or 100,000 copies. So we do a lot of hand holding here with all of our customers to help them achieve their goal of printing and help us achieve our goal of keeping our lights on and continue to print for them.
Well, especially I know you one issue's out and you're getting ready to have the second issue now. Were there any unexpected challenges that took you by surprise as you were going through that first process?
How many people bought the newspaper and then how many envelopes Andy helped us figure out how to stuff. I don't know, Jimmy, you probably have some other good ones.
Oh man. Yeah, like I mean, just outside of the actual printing of it, like I don't think we kind of could wrap our minds around what 40,000 copies would look like. So like after after meeting Andy and us getting the print edition set with our friends over at MG S&D, they helped us create new templates and lay this whole thing out. Like consummate professionals, pleasure to work with, like everything, like all of our high strung concerns about how this thing is going to get out in the world were dissipated. So internally, we had to find new things to worry about. And I was there with our office manager in a tape measurer trying to figure out like how are we going to get 11 pallets of like 10,000 each in this tiny office? Where are they going to load them up? How are we going to get them distributed? And everything ended up moving like clockwork. But man, yeah, it was pretty crazy seeing those pallets roll in and seeing just the stacks upon stacks of papers. And then even more impressive that less than a week later, we have like one stack left in the office, and knowing that those are in people's hands is a pretty incredible feeling. Yeah.
Andy, for you, the process of getting those files, the production and all of that, did it run pretty smoothly, or did you have any production hiccups on your end?
No, no. I mean, the art producers at The Onion, they do a great job. I mean, everything came out correctly with the color separation, so we didn't have any hiccups at all. I mean, we nice, clean files to work with, and everyone's very easy to work with over there at The Onion as well. So, we just first we concentrated on the size because at first they weren't sure what size paper they were going to pick. But then after I sent them some samples and talked with them on the size, and they were pretty much married to a size then, and then they did the files according to that, and yeah, we were nice, clean files and easy to work with, so not too bad.
The folks at MG Strategy and Design who we worked with I mean, they're true unicorns. They did both our website and the layouts for the paper. They actually come from a newspaper design background. We joke a lot that they're the first journalists who taught themselves how to code, but they really did. And we had Jonathan Berlin and Jane Hurt and Matt Mansfield, all individually like legends of newspaper design, helping us out and telling us the secrets of the past, and really got us ahead. But I mean, even you could scan the QR codes even of the trash papers that Andy was throwing away. So
That's right, yeah.
And shout out to my dog, Ben Cunningham over there, who was putting in all of our graphics and laying out all the text and stuff. Like the needle point feedback I was giving him on stuff, his patience is unsurpassed. It was like, can you move this 3 pixels to the left? I don't know. Something's off to me. And he would accommodate with the smile, at least on, online.
yeah, they're really the best. We could not have landed on a better design and development partner for a newspaper and website project.
So as you move into the second edition, and then looking further out, hopefully for many years to come, what are you planning to change, either about the process as you tweak things? Is there anything that stands out to you?
I mean, I think we'd like to get more pages, and yeah, more pages and go bigger. Sometimes I have a stack of old onions and our new fresh onion, and we really have printed them in all different sizes and all different paper weights. Yeah, my hope is to just continue to like honor the great legacy of the Onion's past and be as like high quality and awesome as the Onion in print always was.
Yeah, and when we were thinking about like what the new print edition would be, from about 2008 to the end of the original print run, we were a tablet, and we went back to a half-page Berliner. So, yeah, having that like classic feel, like going completely retro, where you get that snap, when you open up your paper. That allowed us to do more content as well. So we're thinking about like, how do we make this cool and modern while still harking back to what made us something that people knew and cared about. So like, some retro designs. I talked about how I'm going to work on that eagle during the weekend. Like, I love the hark back to our classic front pages. We're bringing back a lot of content that just doesn't work well on the web, like op-eds, stat shots, more graphical features, just things that really immerse the reader. And what's unique about the new print edition as well, at least for the time being, is that the entirety of the paper from front to back is original content written by us, including the ads and everything. So, from just a visual standpoint, it's a lot of fun to be thinking about these different creative challenges and like doing different voices for different aspects of the paper. And then, from a writer's standpoint, like the sheer amount of stuff that they're coming up with and having them all be bangers is like really impressive to see. Like, we've been revitalized now that print is on the table.
We also had an incredible centerfold
Oh yeah.
that was new to the Onion,
Wow.
and I was honored to die so that this print edition of the Onion could live by a tree.
That is pretty awesome. So you mentioned like the snap of the paper. I mean, that takes a really good substrate. Andy, how involved were you in substrates? Were you bringing it to them, or did they have requests? Or
No. I mean, the snapping of the paper, I mean, it does it on its own type of thing. I mean, we have a combination of ink and water that goes onto the paper, and that dries up fairly fast. We don't have any heaters on our press or anything like that. So, it's a larger paper form. So when they open it up, it snaps up open automatically, and
is it just a house stock that you're using, or
yes, it's
is
just
it
the
a
house.
specific that you use for the Onion?
No, it's just a house newsprint stock, 30-pound newsprint stock that we use for the majority of the papers that we print here. We do have another paper stock, a 35-pound, which is a little bit brighter, which we've talked about perhaps using in the future. But we do have other options as well to make it a little bit brighter, make the colors pop a little bit better as well.
We considered the 35-pound stock, and we liked the gray of the newsprint. You could give yourself a paper cut with that 35-pound white sometimes.
Yeah.
Fatal. It's some heavy stuff. It's good.
So what's been the reception so far? You mentioned you've gotten more people subscribing to print than I think you expected right off the bat. So what kind of feedback are you getting?
Oh my gosh, like I answer all of the customer service emails myself right now. Hopefully we'll get a membership a membership coordinator to help with that soon. But it's really a joy because people are so delighted to get the Onion in print again. I've gotten a lot of like, the past week has been people being like, when is my Onion going to arrive? And most of the time they write back within a day or so being like, oh my gosh, it came. And then they're so happy, which has been absolutely awesome. And yeah, the reception has been great. And I think that we are as usual, ahead of the trend. The Onion, throughout its long history, has always been like at the forefront of new mediums. And right now, with Vice magazine and a number of other magazines that I know are coming back into print in a bigger way, it feels like we're at the forefront of a new old medium again, and that's so cool.
Print is a powerful medium, and I think people forgot that for a few years.
I think you are exactly right. Like, I have goosebumps thinking about it.
So I guess to kind of wrap it up, probably the most important question: where can people go to subscribe to get their own copy of the printed edition of The Onion?
Who are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at you, Jimmy.
Oh, membership.theonion.com. Please come on by and sign up. Become a member today. 12 issues in print straight to your mailbox.
Straight to your mailbox. We also send very fun emails. It's like a whole secret society. I can't really get into it right now, but membership.theonion.com. You'll love it.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate all three of you being willing to sit down and chat with me about this very exciting news. It is not often that I get to interview anyone about a digital edition coming back to print. So it is incredibly exciting.
May this be the first of many.
Exactly.
Yes.
I want to see you guys as the trendsetters. I want to thank Danielle, Jimmy, and Andy for joining me on the podcast. And I want to thank all of our listeners for tuning in. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode of the Impressions Exchange podcast.